This is the homework quiz for week 13, and this week we've grouped together different questions into different videos because we had a lot of questions and some repeats in terms of the types of questions, so you could have some practice on the quiz. So question number 1, 2, 10, and 11 are all questions where you needed to add a positive and a negative number. And this is really the basic, most common kind of problem that you'll find when you're adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers. If you can do this kind, you'll be able to solve most of the problems that you'll find with integer addition and subtraction. So let's go ahead and go through the steps. Really, there are three basic questions, processes that you need to ask yourself when you're solving these kinds of problems. First of all, which number has more? In the case of the first one, 43, positive 43 plus negative 26. Are there more positives or more negatives? Which one has more? There are more positives. So we'll begin with that number. And from that, we're going to subtract the number with less. We're going to subtract the number of negatives that we have. We're not going to subtract negative 26, but we're going to subtract the number of negatives that we have. Okay? And that is 26. So 43 minus 26. We can't take 6 away from 3. So we'll need to regroup the 40 and 4, and change that to 30 with 13 ones. 13 minus 6 is 7, and 3 tens minus 2 tens is 1 10. So we have 17. Now we need to ask ourselves, between 43 and negative 26, which one has more? Are there more positives or are there more negatives? And the answer is there are more positives. So therefore, if we have more positives and we take away the negatives that we have, our answer is going to be positive. So the answer is positive 17. Let's go through the same step quickly for 2, 10, and 11. And by the end, I think you should have it down. So the first one, which number has more? Well, there are more negatives. So we're going to begin with 23. And from that, we're going to subtract the one with less. So we're going to subtract the positives, 19. So how many more negatives are there than positives? That's what we're finding out right now in the subtraction problem. So again, we can't subtract 9 from 3, so we need to regroup that 2 tens into 1 10 and 13 ones. 13 minus 9 is 4, and 10 minus 10 is 0. Now we can ask, are there more positives or negatives to begin with? And we can see up above that there are more negatives. So our answer, therefore, is going to be negative. So we had 23 negatives to begin with. We took away 19 of those, and we're going to have negative 4 left. And that's our answer. Let's look at the next one. 22 minus negative 61. Which one has more? The 61 negatives. So we're going to begin with 61 negatives. And from that, we're going to subtract the number with less, which is 22. And again, we need to regroup, which we can do. Regrouping that 60 into 50 and 11 ones. 11 ones minus 2 are 9. And 5 minus 2 is 3. Now, we ask the question, are there more positives between 22 and 61? The answer is there are more negatives. So 61 negatives, taking away 22 of those negatives will leave us with 39 negatives. Our answer, again, is 39. Negative 39. And the last one, number 11, negative 17 plus 36. Which one has more? 36 has more. And subtract the number with less, which is 17. And again, regroup. 16 minus 7 is 9, and 2 tens minus 1 10 is 1 10, so we have 19. Are there more positives or negatives in negative 17 plus 36? There are more positives. So our answer is going to be positive as well. So positive 19. And those are the steps that you need to take when you're adding any positive and negative number together. You find the one that has more and subtract from it the one that has less. And then once you have that answer, you go back and revisit the problem again. And remember, did I have more positives to begin with or negatives? go ahead and try sample problems that are paired with these problems here, 1, 2, 10, and 11, adding a positive and a negative number together in order to be able to practice this skill further.